To remain updated with the latest business news, click on the bell icon.
But the numbers for February 2022 have been released by the Federation of Automobile Dealers Association, FADA, and I'm joined by the President, FADA, Mr. Vinkesh Gulati. Thank you so much, Mr. Gulati, for joining us on Business Today TV. Uh, how have the numbers been? 9% drop in the overall retail sales. What is causing this shortage? And we are coming close to the end of the financial year. What is the outlook, sir?
So thanks, Chetan, for having me. And overall, yes, not a good report. I agree, it's a mixed bag. We have seen some green shoots in three-wheelers and commercial vehicle, but overall, the two-wheeler is in a real bad shape. Passenger vehicle, because of the semiconductor shortages, still grappling with those and trying to cover up the numbers, but still not a good situation. Tractor is also negative on a strong base last year because we have seen a lot of growth last year. It's so overall not a good situation. One thing is what we were looking up to is the negative percentage to improve drastically this month. As last month it was more than around 15%. We were expecting this will be below 5, but like you know, the overall industry 70% is the two-wheeler industry, and because the two-wheeler is not able to cover up due to various reasons, the industry is also not having a very positive outlook. So not a good show as of February, but that's the way. Like you said, auto industry, it's seen for so long. I feel it's been now 2 to 3 years where we are regularly seeing negative. So we've seen negative in between, some months good, some months bad. But this is I feel the longest spell of month on month seeing overall red, which is not a good sign for such a big industry which covers around 40 plus percentage of manufacturing and 12% of GST. So not a good sign today.
Mr. Gulati, Mr. Gulati, when so we're about to end the financial year, do you think, because since we'll always of course wait for the March month numbers to come out, do you still feel that we would be able to cover up a little bit as compared to the previous year because of the first wave? With a lot of issues as far as sales were concerned, but do you think we'll be better off as far as the previous year goes?
So Chetan, I'm see what's the gap here is if you talk about the previous year, April and May was actually nil. So practically April was nil, May was a bit wherever which states open. But this time around, even in COVID 2, wave 2, we didn't see any lockdowns happening. So the dealerships were operating. So it would not be apple to apple comparison, but overall we'll be positive, overall industry. But because if we see April, we had done 1185, May 535, whereas last year, April, May put together, we had done 576, which is so basically 3 times. So this has been because of the lockdowns and all that. So nothing to do with natural demand or natural sale. So would not be happy to see this positive what you are talking year on year. As FADA, as an association, we normally try to compare with pre-COVID years because that is the actual base where
actual benchmark, correct?
Yeah, we were wanting to go above that, and now we are comparing with a place which has already gone so long down. So pre-COVID, I am still not very positive. I am expecting that we'll be seeing some 20-25% degrowth for pre-COVID. Maybe we'll be able to see growth if we compare from last year, but I feel that wouldn't be the right comparison to do.
Right. Now coming to the most important part, as you are aware, there's a war that's alleged war that's going on. Do you feel that in your release also you mentioned that with Russia's blocking and people avoiding, do you feel that the semiconductor shortage would further trouble the industry in India?
See, I'm not saying that it would happen in March, but obviously in the long run it would surely happen. Because the semiconductor, the cycle of production and utilization and making the vehicle is around 45 days. So obviously what is happening today will show the effect in April end or May, not in March. So March it's okay, but yes, the current issue will obviously affect the semiconductor shortages. It will increase, and slowly and steadily we were looking towards a positive car industry, which obviously will go back because I don't know. I remember for the past 10 years or so, I haven't seen a 3 lakh figure what I saw in February production. That was a very good indication. Even our inventory level of cars have improved from 8 to 10 days to 12 to 15 days, which clearly shows that March would be better, should be better than last year March because of the opening stock and whatever is in the production or is in the transit, semiconductor is in transit for the OEM. So March will be fine, but I feel April onwards we'll start seeing a bit of pinch. But if this goes further, then obviously it's a big issue.
Sir, how much is the auto industry having an exposure with respect to supply of key components from Russia or Ukraine or the areas impacted by the subsequent war?
So basically, Russia supplies around 40% plus palladium for the semiconductor production. So obviously, but it's not the only supplier. There are other countries also. So I feel though they will have to cover up, but a short problem will be there. You cannot, it cannot be corrected in a day or so. It will take another some period for the other manufacturers or other materials guys to cover up. Whereas if we talk about the neon gas which comes from Ukraine, that's not a big problem that can be replicated. But obviously, anything which needs a change, obviously it needs a change in your manufacturing line and the process, which takes a time. And changing a set line, people want to wait and see if maybe in a week or time the conflict is over and things can go back to normal because then or else they'll have to do some permanent changes, and once the issue is solved they'll have to go back again, so that's a bigger issue. But I feel it will affect the overall market, not for India, world over also.
Right. So sir, I wanted to ask you about the outlook. What all sectors except let's start with the two-wheeler segment. What two-wheelers are you seeing? Why is there not a demand in rural India? Because we are seeing the rural penetration of the automobile industry getting faster and bigger, but sales are not picking up, and for two-wheelers especially. And I think that's the problem that shows that the demand is not there. Because if bikes and scooters don't sell in rural India, that's a big indicator. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there should be something done to improve the sentiment.
Chetan, you are right on point, but I'm not able to pinpoint the exact what has to be done to cover up it because it's been long. And I don't know if you have seen, there's below 10 lakh production of two-wheelers in February. And whereas this market is an average of 14 plus lakh sales. So that's a major issue what we are seeing. And overall, also the tractor sales is also an indication that rural is not doing good. So the first wave actually, the rural India supported us to give a jump back, and it was a very fast recovery what we saw because of that. But post that, then when the second wave came and the rural India was also involved in those fertility ratios, hospitalization, and money to be spent on their self-health and all that. That has actually shaken their confidence on the system. And overall, that has put some financial distress there. So I'm not saying they don't have money. They have purchasing power, but they don't have the will to spend it today. So overall, the sentiments, the positive sentiment, or you can say, see, buying a vehicle is a happy sentiment.
Correct.
If you are somewhere sad, you won't go to a dealer even to ask a rate of a vehicle.
Absolutely.
So that sentiment has to come back. So overall, the rural India is still not triggered back on their track, which is clear by the current two-wheeler entry level degrowth, which is a major thing why the percentage is down. Because if I talk on the premium side, 150cc and above, the vehicles are in shortage. Check with RE, check with Triumph, BMW, even Pulsar 150cc and above. So those are still available and selling well. They are still holding fort. But whatever is 110cc and below, I feel overall that's a place where the problem is.
Right. My last question to you, sir, is of course on the crude prices. The crude prices are at all-time high. What are you anticipating with respect to the sales? Any comment to offer from the association? Because we're anticipating that from March 10th onward, the prices will start increasing for petrol and diesel. So, any outlook, any comment on that?
Boss, no comment. Election has helped us a lot. I'll say 1.5 months of no price increase. That was a good benefit of election to all India. It was only for 5 states election, but benefited all India. But obviously, government will have to force to increase the prices. You see the crude. I don't know what's the latest, but it was 110 plus.
Yesterday it crossed 115, and today it's hovering around 114, 112.
Yeah, so 110 above means a good price increase. So whatever 1.5 months loss is there, that has to be covered. So and that's where more fear is, because in two-wheeler we were expecting like Navratri is coming up, marriage season is coming up, schools have been opening. We thought that these will trigger some positivity and the inquiries will increase and we'll be able to see some respite in two-wheeler. But post 10th, I'm sure the fuel price will go way above our head, and the two-wheeler customers must be thinking also they will delay their purchase, or I don't know. I don't expect them to cancel it. Hopefully, if they only delay their purchase and come back again, that's the look what we are.
This is definitely a point of concern for the industry.
Yes. You're right.
Well, Mr. Gulati, thank you so much, candid as always, for joining us on Business Today TV. Looking forward for a good set of numbers next month. Till then, good luck and goodbye.
Thanks, Chetan. Thanks. It was a nice interaction. Thank you.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.